Welcome back to another console collector video. Hey everybody, console collector here. Today we're going to take a look at the full set of Nintendo Gamecube controllers. Now, disclaimer, this video is covering the full set of official Nintendo Gamecube controllers in this traditional shape that is wired. So that doesn't mean the Hori pad for the Game Boy Advance player, or the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller, or the Phantasy Star Online keyboard controller, or even the Wavebirds. We're just going to take a look at the full set of the standard GameCube controller. So to kick it off, we're going to have the most famous looking GameCube controller. This is the Indigo. Standard purple. This was released in all regions. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Jet Black. Another fairly common controller. Again, this was released in all regions. Probably the second most common. Next up, we have the Platinum. This is the silver Platinum limited edition controller, which really, you see these all the time, so I guess they're really not that limited. Nice shine to it. So that's the Platinum. That was also released in all regions. Now this one is the Indigo, and it has the transparent clear bottom, so you can see all the inner workings and stuff inside there. Pretty cool. A little less common these days. This was released in North America. And finally, for the North America GameCube set of controllers, we have the Spice Orange. Those were the only 4 colors we received in North America. But that's not the end of the video. I meant full set. So, we're going to jump right into a PAL region controller. This is black and the Platinum Silver Resident Evil 4 GameCube controller. This was bundled with the Resident Evil 4 console. You can see the nice little Resident Evil 4 logo there in place of the traditional Nintendo GameCube. Next, we have the plain white, just a matte stone white looking controller. This, I believe, was only released in Japan. What's nice about this one is it has a super extra long cord, so that's pretty handy. Nice clean white. Next, we're gonna feature the Hanshin Tigers controller. This was packed in with the baseball GameCube that was modeled after the Hanshin Tigers baseball team in Japan. You can see their little logo there, the H and the T. Fairly rare controller. It's really just a black controller with that logo. Next, we have the Emerald Green controller. Very unique color. This again was a Japan only. The great thing about these controllers is obviously there's no region lock. So you can use these controllers on your GameCube, your Wii, your Wii U, whatever a GameCube controller is compatible with. So again, that's the Emerald controller. Next up, we have the mint green, or symphonic green as it's known. This was packed in with the Tales of Symphonia GameCube. Really, really minty looking green. So that's the Tales of Symphonia controller. Next up, we have the Starlight Gold GameCube controller. Now this was a Toys R Us exclusive in Japan, so this set is fairly rare. It was packed in with the gold GameCube as well. Really nice gold to it. Almost looks silver in pictures, but if you look carefully, it is gold. So Starlight Gold. Next up, this is probably my personal favorite. It's the completely clear GameCube controller. You can see all inside there. Really, really cool controller. For reference, the cord and the plug-in is also clear. That's how you know you got a real one. Next up, the elusive pearl white controller. This was a PAL in Japan only, the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles pack-in controller. Some people say the Final Fantasy and the PAL pearl white controllers are a different color, but I've had both. This is the Final Fantasy one, and they're the same color. Maybe people saw different colors from aging or fading. I'm in the paint and body industry, so I assure you they're the same color. So again, this is the pearl white. This is a beautiful controller, by the way. Very nice matte pearl to it. Next up, the elusive Panasonic Q GameCube controller. This is like a primer gray color, as you can see there, as Panasonic, in replace of the Nintendo Gamecube logo. This one's actually fairly boring in my opinion, but it's part of the set. This was the controller packed in with the Panasonic Q. So the Panasonic Q controller. Next up, we have the Char's Gundam controller. This was packed in with the custom Char's limited edition GameCube. What's neat about this is it's actually two different colors of red. I don't know a lot about the Gundam series or much about the character Char's, but this is the controller. More dark red on the back side there. Got the lighter red for the plug. This controller is fairly expensive these days. There is a Char's Wavebird controller, which I do not have. It's very expensive, more so than any of these controllers here. So that's the Char's GameCube controller. We're gonna jump into the future here. This is the Super Smash Bros. Edition GameCube controller for the Wii U. It is an actual GameCube controller. It can be plugged into a GameCube and used. Mine is sealed, and I have no intention of opening it. But we can look at the box here. You had to use that GameCube controller adapter on your Wii U to use this controller. Because it is the traditional shape, it's official and has a GameCube plug. It's part of the set. I know Hori did a lot of these clone controllers, but they have the Wiimote plug-in, so they're not part of the set. They cannot be used on the Nintendo GameCube. So that is the Super Smash Bros. Black GameCube controller. Now in Japan, they got the white version. This one is also sealed, so I cannot open it. They got a much nicer box, as you can see here. Same deal. It's an actual GameCube controller. It even says on the box, works on Wii, Wii U, and GameCube. You need the little adapter there. Right there. So that's the white Japanese Super Smash Bros. GameCube controller. Now we're down to the last few here. These 4 controllers were all Nintendo exclusives, meaning you had to cash in your points from Club Nintendo to get these controllers before Club Nintendo disappeared. So this is the Club Nintendo Mario GameCube controller. Red on top, blue on the bottom, just like Mario. Now they did make the Hori controller in this exact color scheme, but the difference is the plug-in. This is an actual GameCube controller. The Hori ones have a Wii U plug on them. So this is the Mario Club Nintendo GameCube controller. Next up, can't have Mario if you don't have Luigi. This is the Club Nintendo Luigi GameCube controller. Again, Hori made this same controller with the Wii U plug-in, but this is an actual official GameCube controller. There's the plug there, it's green. Next up, this was actually one of the harder controllers for me to find, and the last controller in the set that I obtained. This is the Club Nintendo Wario controller. Got the yellow top and the purple back. Yellow plug. The Wario logo there. That's the Club Nintendo Wario controller. Last but not least, we have the actual Club Nintendo GameCube controller. It's a nice plain white on top. This really interesting blue on the back. Now there's a wave bird that matches this as well. But here you can see the Club Nintendo GameCube controller. So that is the full set of traditional shaped wired official GameCube controllers. Do you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. I want to thank everybody for watching. I am the Console Collector. And until the next video, happy gaming.